Rise exists because years ago I was doing executive business coaching, and I had a lot of large contracts with organizations that were primarily men. And when I was doing the workshops and the training and the restructuring and all of these intricate operational things for these businesses, I kept noticing that there was a need for something specific for women, and God put it on my heart, the word rise. And when I thought about rise and women and what I was currently involved in, it just made sense. So that's where the idea for the Rise community originated from. RISE stands for Restoring, Igniting, Strengthening, and Empowering Women. And the reason that RISE was so appropriate and what it actually means is because the majority of the women that I was encountering, they needed something, someone to help them realize that they could rise, that they were worthy of rising. And what they actually needed was those components to rise. I feel like every day when I wake up and I go to work on Rise, the mission is to reach that one woman that thinks she's alone, that one woman who thinks she's not worthy of being loved. She doesn't feel like she's enough. So the mission kind of changes, if you will, but the real depth behind it is waking up each day with that burning passion inside of me to reach that one woman. When I thought about establishing a community is about being surrounded by like-minded people. And every day we have family, we have friends, we have co-workers, different communities that we are part of on a daily basis. But when it comes to having needs, a lot of times the communities that we are part of don't really have the ability to show up and support what we need. So the Rise community is about meeting the women right where they are. It's about understanding what they have experienced, what they're currently experiencing, and knowing that they're not alone. So using my story, speaking my truth, is reaching those women who need community, but the right kind of community. And a lot of times we can get angry and frustrated at the people around us. They have good intention, they mean well, but because they haven't actually experienced what they're going through, the women can't receive what they need. So the Rise community steps into battle with them, and we meet them with compassionate action. And that's such a critical piece of the Rise community. When I was in the darkness, when I was suffering and struggling, I was able to look up and see the light. I felt God calling me and telling me to rise up, to look up, child. But me rising up and getting there and not bringing another woman with me would not share the glory of God's grace, the glory of what God has done in my life. So when you choose to rise up, you're not only doing it for yourself, you're doing it for her. All the women who are around you, all the women who are watching you, all the women who are currently experiencing what you just rose up from. So when you choose to rise up, you then turn around and you bring another woman with you. And there's power in that. There's such power in choosing to rise up and then bringing another woman with you. So the Rise Up process is based on 3.14. And the reason that is significant is because 6 years ago, Rise was born on March 14th, 3.14. The 3 stands for your dynamic P3, your purpose, your passion, and your power. When you were created with purpose to live a life of purpose on purpose. And we want to uncover what that is, understand what that is, so you can walk in that every single day. When you have that clear, your passion is ignited, and there's so much power you can draw from that. The 1 stands for you, because you are ultimately responsible for what happens now and what happens next. So the things that you've encountered in your past, no matter what they were, some of those things you may not have been responsible for, but the healing, the rising up is your responsibility. And in order to carry out your purpose, in order to feel that sense of power and have your passion be ignited, you have to understand what your responsibilities are. Then our 4 stands for our 4 journeys, and they're going on every single day simultaneously: spiritual, mental, physical, and financial. And with the exclusive Rise Up process, we're digging into all of that. We're understanding it, we're defining it, we're documenting it, we're uncovering what your why is, and we're going 7 levels deep on that. So it helps you to create motivators that will sustain your effort to get you from where you are to where you're called to be, from living the life you're in now to living the life that was designed for you. And the possibilities are endless. And the women can expect having to show up, dig in, and do the hard work if they are finally ready to rise up. And it's a partnership. It's an absolute partnership. And knowing you have that constant support, the accountability, and someone who's going to be there to make you feel okay not being okay, but then also encourage you to get up and continue going with the support and the tools is incredibly essential to you achieving what matters to you. So we talk about choosing to rise up and bring another woman with you. If the Rise community becomes stagnant, then we're not able to reach more women. That means there are women out there who will stay alone, who will stay in a circumstance that was meant to be temporary, who will continue carrying burdens that aren't meant for them to carry alone. So the Rise community needs to grow because that means we're reaching more women. And like I said earlier, my focus is to reach the one woman. And if each current member of the Rise community turns around and reaches one woman, the ripple effect, the amount of women who can be impacted to rise up, it becomes a movement. It's really, really critical for the community to grow, not because of the community itself, but because of the women that it's impacting. And that's why Rise needs to continue to build its community so it can reach more women. If it matters to you, it is important. The reason that I use that so often is because sometimes women will want something or need something, but they won't ever speak it into existence because they think it's not important. They won't ask for help because they think they're not deserving of it. But understanding that if it matters to you, it is important, then that right there validates it. You don't need someone else to say, oh yes, I agree that's important. Or it matters to me, so it's okay for it to matter to you. And that's something that needs to be developed within each woman to understand that if it matters to her, it is important. It's already validated. It already has depth. It's already worth her choosing to do the work to make it happen. You don't need someone else to tell you it's okay to pursue the things that are important to you. There are so many opportunities. We have a Facebook group and there are constant posts for daily motivations, there's sharing, there's opportunity for engaging in conversation with that online presence. But then we also have monthly get-togethers, and this is an opportunity to be in fellowship, to be in community, to rub shoulders with women that you may not encounter otherwise, and have the opportunity to receive the physical touch, making eye contact, and really connecting on an intimate level to build relationships that are rise-minded women who can help you walk the journey that you're walking. We also do retreats. We also do one-to-one coaching. There are a lot of opportunities for you to get involved when you can look at yourself in the mirror and say, I am finally ready to break these chains. If that's you, then it's your time to get involved, and the possibilities are endless.